Hi everyone, it's Rosa. Today I'm going to teach you how to read tarot cards and also how to do readings. So a lot of people think it takes a lot of studying to do. You have to know all the meanings. But basically, we're going to do a quick tutorial. I recommend the Rider-Waite Tarot deck. All ones are based off this one. Very pretty. Always have good energy with these personally. What is tarot? You can use it for reflection, guidance. You can use it also for like spiritual purposes. So first we're going to start on with explaining the major versus the minor arcana. Arcana is basically a separation of each category. The major arcana, there are 22 cards. And each one is kind of like a theme, up to your interpretation, but ultimately you follow the meaning based off. Personally, we'll get into my resources later. First, I'm going to explain the difference between the major and the minor arcana. So basically, arcana is a separate category. We'll start off by explaining the major. The major are bigger themes in the reading. They have more big emphasis, more of a major impact. It's not as minor of a situation, if it explains. So example, the Fool card, it means new beginnings. Instead of rather like a minor arcana will have more of like everyday life, relationships, work, emotions, more like the surface level. And there are 22 major cards and 56 minor cards. So basically the minor cards, there's a lot more. So it kind of emphasizes the importance of the major card. So, and there are 4 suits. Kind of like regular playing cards. Think of it like that. It helps a lot if you play cards. Kind of a lost art. Anyway, so there are the wands, the cups, the swords, and the pentacles. So the wands represent passion and actions. The cups represent emotions, love, and intuition. The swords represent thoughts, communication, and conflict. And the pentacles represent money, work, and more of a home life situation. And honestly, there are elements connected to these. A lot of it is practices relating to like witchcraft, and there are suits as well, similar to playing cards as well. Is number 1 to ace, and then kind of like cards, the real one, there's going to be a page, a knight, a queen, and a king. Pretty cool, right? And we're going to explain reversed cards. So basically, some people choose to omit them in their readings, which is fine. It's up to you. Ultimately, it's your lifestyle. It's your tarot reading. But more commonly practiced, and I prefer, is more universal, that the reversed cards represent blockages and struggles, and also usually the opposite of the card meaning. Also, a cool tidbit is that negative upright cards usually mean something positive reverse. So not all reverse cards are bad. So basically, it's not necessarily a bad thing. You just have to look at it in more of a positive light. And what I mean by that is a lot of the time, tarot readings are things that have yet to come. They're future, well, fortune telling, future reading cards, essentially. Like it's more of like an insight to the future, right? So it kind of gives you like a warning. So like you can correct or refocus your thoughts or your actions based off that. Now you know the basics of what tarot is. And so what you're going to do is you're going to find like a spread. So basically some are complicated, up to 12 cards. Some of them are in patterns. Don't do any of those, I promise you. You're going to want them because they're usually more specific, but I recommend a basic spread. Even a daily 1-card pull is fine. Some people do it every day and it helps them learn the meanings better. I personally prefer a 3 spread, and let me explain. So, basically, I feel like tarot explains more of a storyline. So what I mean by that is when you use tarot, you need to kind of notice patterns, not just the literal meaning. Like, for example, a very common spread is past, present, future. You'll pull the cards, and I'll explain that in a second. I'm going to do an actual reading. And then you'll look up the actual meaning of the cards. Like, some people don't like AI, but if you really need help, I kind of recommend using like ChatGPT or Google Search AI, something, like that it is. And then you'll send a picture or explain your spread, such as past, present, future. Then type in the card you pulled and if it's upright or reversed, if you choose. Then, what I prefer, because I personally believe tarot is an insight to your subconscious and it kind of like directs you based on your intuition. I feel like you don't need a literal answer or AI telling you what to do, but if you need help with the meaning and explaining it better, I get it. But then, basically, you're going to look up the meaning. I might be butchering the word, but I recommend, what is it called? Labyrinthos? I really don't know, but I'm going to link it and just put a photo right here. But basically, I also recommend this book. It's very helpful. It's honestly the best book I've found. I've looked at so many. They don't explain anything. They're not simple. They don't go into depth about reverse or career or money. But anyway, it's by Stephanie Capone. Recommend. I might put a link in the description. But basically, it explains what tarot is. Just like I am, essentially, but it's a little longer, more in depth. But it has the major and the minor arcana, and it will have the picture, and it's the exact same as this, so I highly recommend. Like I said, it's based off all decks are based off this one. So for example, it has the picture of the emperor, the number it is. So the major arcana, they are labeled 1 to 22. The minor arcana, they are labeled with the number. So like a 5 of pentacles, it will be a V. All of them are Roman numerals as well. And you can also count the symbols of wands, for example, cups, swords, pentacles, those. You will actually be, what I love about tarot is everything's visual. So one good tip is to look at the card. Notice the visuals very well, because literally all of them are symbolic. Now I've noticed more of the major arcana, they're like, you can't really tell with the card unless it's a major meaning. But let me show you. So basically the 5 of wands, you can see these 4 men are fighting with literally 5 wands. So you can count, in case you don't remember Roman numerals like me. But yeah, it has the love and romance, career, money, personal and spiritual, general reading, and reversed. And it will explain a reverse key meaning in numerology, which is also another spiritual practice. I kind of believe in it, but let's not get into it. Basically, yeah, something like that pretty much. Recommend. This is how I prefer to do it. So everyone's different. But let me show you my method. These are the cards. This is how they look. I don't look at what's here. I shuffle them. I believe in fate a lot. But also, like any game, you're going to want to shuffle. This isn't necessarily a game of cards. In regard to that, I mean. But I'm going to put in text somewhere what it means. But pretty much what I do, some people shuffle them like regular cards. But I don't like that. I feel like it's not as random. It's not, because you don't get to move them in reverse or not. So what I do personally, I spread them all out. And this is just how to do readings for yourself. I personally don't like when other people do readings for me, especially pay readings, because it's just like, I feel like these cards aren't literally supernatural in my opinion. They are literally like symbols to unlock your subconscious and what you believe is right, or the universe telling you something, or whatever you believe. But I just feel like when you do it yourself, it's more personal. Sometimes you can light incense. Some people believe in cleansing their cards. So I'm not looking at them, but the cards are stacked. We're going to do a 3 spread. I recommend it very much. It gets you into the thought process of tarot. This will be the past reading. This will be the present reading. And then this will be the future. So this is like I face myself, but I'm gonna hold each card so you can see. Basically, what it lands facing you. If it's upright facing you, it's the upright meaning. If it's opposite facing you, where the words you can't see because they're upside down, that's reverse. So I'll put the meaning right here. I didn't put my energy personally into these cards. So like, I feel like this is more example and not really look into my life, you know? But basically, this is the past. That's what it means. Upright. Queen of Wands. Then we have a 7 Pentacles upright. You can see this man is working. And this is the meaning. And then we have temperance, upright. This is the meaning of the whole reading. Just hold it for a second. You can pause if you want. That's my reading. What I do then is I stack them randomly. I reshuffle the cards the exact same way. Even though we shuffle them again, I like to cleanse them in a sense, make sure everything is completely random. I recommend guides. I recommend whenever you look up a meaning, I recommend you look at multiple sources or a reliable source. Like that book is pretty reliable, I promise you. But if you want to double check, you can look up multiple meanings and whatever the theme is. Like if all of them kind of mean the same thing, that's what it means. That's what I believe is the best way to do your research. And that's my guide into tarot. Let me know what you think. If you have any questions, I will answer them, or I can make a whole video about it. Honestly, this is just a fun little thing for me. And if you like the video, please like, subscribe, and share whatever you want. I don't know. Hopefully this explained tarot to you in a good, quick way. A little long, but I wanted to be sure I covered all the topics, all the questions, without like an hour-long video. But I hope you have a great day. I hope your vibes are good. And I'll see you in the next one.